As soon as you unlock digital human, you basically have access to trillions of dollars of revenue. In fact, you can really think of it like the most valuable companies currently by market cap, their output is digital. Apple doesn't make phones; they send files to China. Microsoft doesn't manufacture anything. Even for Xbox, that's outsourced. Their output is digital. Meta's output is digital. Google's output is digital.
In the same way, when we digitized things going back 30 years, and you could say, well, I'm going to invest in digital. Well, what the heck does that mean? But it's absolutely essential to every given product, right? So you have digital music, digital newspapers, digital bank accounts in the way that you could operate on your phone without writing a full check. I think in many ways, tokenization, distributed ledger, blockchain technology is going to be disruptive in the same horizontal approach, where inside any given linear, there's going to be dramatic innovation and development in that space. I do think it dramatically democratizes access into a lot of assets. As we think about loan structures, an ability for people to be able to access financing on the consumer level, the ability for individuals to be able to transact value with very little cost associated with that. In the DeFi side, individual to individual without a third-party intermediary between us.
Strait of Hormuz is open. It is only closed to the tankers and ships belong to our enemies, to those who are attacking us and their allies. Others are free to pass. Of course, many of them prefer not because of their security concerns. This has nothing to do with us.
We are only targeting American assets, American installations, American military bases. Everything belongs to Americans. They, attacked our islands using HIMARS artillery rockets, which are low-range, rockets, and they used the territory of UAE to attack us.
If this disruption lasts for months, can the U.S. economy absorb the shock without a recession?
First of all, it's not going to last for months. President Trump's team has briefed us that it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks, beginning 2 weeks ago, and that we're ahead of schedule. And so, second, if it did last for a long time, it wouldn't really do a lot of harm to the U.S. economy. Now, certainly, there'd be pocketbook issues that we'd have to address, but the bottom line is that the U.S. produces so much oil that you can't really get GDP to go negative with an oil shock the way you could in the 70s. So we're in a very strong position, but it's really heightens the strength by the fact that we've got a productivity boom from artificial intelligence, we've got a capital spending boom because of the big beautiful bill, and we've got incomes growing the fastest we've seen since back around 2018. And so all the fundamentals of our economy are really, really strong. If Iran thinks that they're going to get President Trump to back down because they're going to make our economy weak, then they just don't understand economics.
Iran destroyed this very expensive anti-missile radar system that was in Jordan. For quantum-enabled missile defense, what are you able to do? What is your goal here, and how would it work involving IonQ technology?
Well, a lot of our work is obviously classified. We have announced a partnership with a drone manufacturer named Heaven. I think it's safe to say that the future of the battlefield runs right through quantum computing, but it's also our quantum sensing capabilities that are important for the warfighting domains that matter on the modern battlefield. We're working on both short, medium, and long-term initiatives. Most of our quantum sensing activities are in areas that help things like submarines through the spacecraft know where they are. But also, we're thinking ahead to obviously a world where quantum computers are more prevalent and where quantum security is vital. And so protecting our communications posture, not just for civilians, but of course for the modern battlefield, is front and center. Our post-quantum cryptography, our quantum key distribution, and of course, calculating logistics and looking at all the permutations and combinations that you can forecast are front and center for what quantum computers promise to bring, with IonQ very much leading the pack.
At what speed? That's what I want our viewers to understand about what you believe your technology can do. You mentioned permutations. There are a million possibilities when a drone is shot up and at a target. We just don't know exactly what it will hit. What could a quantum computer built into a radar system do, and how quickly?
Well, we believe we're going to make advances possible in this administration that will ultimately change the world and certainly change the battlefield. Quantum computing through INQ is coming faster than everyone thought before, and that's because we're the best capitalized company in history, and we're very focused on bringing manufacturing for the whole quantum ecosystem firmly and centrally to INQ and to the U.S. So we make our machines entirely with the U.S. supply chain. We announced an acquisition of a business called Skywater just about 6 weeks ago. Skywater is actually supporting the whole U.S. quantum industry. And so we're proud of the fact that we are the leading merchant supplier to the entire quantum industry. It's our atomic clocks, our quantum chips, quantum networking equipment. All of this is being supplied not just to the DOW, but of course to all of our partners. And so we're really here to focus on accelerating U.S. quantum leadership. This is a race against our adversaries. It's not just a race against smaller adversaries like Iran that honestly don't have a quantum posture, but there's bigger ones like China that obviously recognize that after AI, quantum is the next big technological wave. And so the U.S. succeeding in that is all about, we believe, INQ supporting the industry, INQ capitalizing quantum foundries, the merchant supplier business, and of course making sure that we lead in computing, networking, sensing, and quantum cybersecurity. This is the battlefield of the future right here.
I'm glad you brought.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you go join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share this channel everywhere. Remember, it's free of charge. It doesn't cost you anything. And we know it's important to share this channel because you definitely want to get the knowledge out. And we have Elon Musk telling us what Ray Kurzweil told us a long time ago. They want to unlock the digital human. They want you in the metaverse. They want everything tokenized and put on blockchain. And that's including you. Your digital twin is right around the corner. And that's the reason why knowledge is so important. So therefore you don't fall for the devil's tricks. And while we hear the drums are beating, what is it all for? That's right, so they can tokenize this whole economy. We're in a fragmented world. And what have they done since beginning of time? Destroy history. And that's what they're doing right now, doing the drums are beating. The real indigenous people of America, they tore down everything, burned it down, bombed it, erased all their history, and then gave them their version of the history they wanted us to know. Yes, it's genius, evil genius, but yes, it's genius. Remember, the brain is nothing but software. And right now, they want to erase everything globally in order to bring in the fourth industrial revolution. And again, remember, this technology can be used for good or evil. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we have the foreign minister of Iran says that the Strait of Hormuz is open, just not for the U.S. and their allies. And we can clearly see oil is not going to be coming down anytime soon. And we have Kevin Hassett of the White House saying that this drums are beating is only going to last 4 to 6 weeks. And I've never heard of drums are beaten with a timeline on it. If it has a timeline on it, it definitely is planned out. But then Kevin Hassett tells us the truth. There's going to be a productivity boom from artificial intelligence. And remember what Scott Besson told us. In the second quarter, they're going to start flipping the switch. We know it takes a while to pick up. But as artificial intelligence and these machines start to rise, we know unemployment is going to rise. Remember, they cause a problem, wait for the reaction, and run in with a solution. And when we look over in the emerging markets, we see all this technology is ready. And if they can use this technology on billions of people, we know it's going to work in the U.S. when we only have 350 million. But remember, in order to bring all this technology in, they need that crisis, and they want Americans on their knees begging for the solution. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have quantum computing. Yes, right. That's the next step. And you know, the Cryptoteacher wrote about it a long time ago. If you have the NWO book, you been know what's coming. And quantum computing is going to change your reality. Star Wars, adversaries. We're going to be living in a real life movie. And we know the military, NASA, all these big tech companies have been using quantum computing. We can go all the way back to the late 80s, early 90s. And now that we have blockchain, crypto, AI, the robots, it's perfect time to bring quantum computing to the masses. And with quantum computing, you can run so many simulations, you can see the future. I know it sounds like a movie, but remember, your life is an illusion and TV is your reality. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you. And we have chaos all around the globe. And since the United States went inside of Venezuela, we know Cuba right now is taking a hit. And it doesn't matter what country you go to, they all have a plan for the fourth industrial revolution. And we know how old and ancient Cuba is. And the NWO doesn't care. They're going to digitize the artifacts and take them in the metaverse. And they're about to update Cuba to the fourth industrial revolution. And remember, the Cryptoteacher told you, because he knows, when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Is your technology that fights cybersecurity hacks, is it faster than Palo Alto Networks, than Zscalers, than CrowdStrike?
I don't know if speed is relevant in the security space in the sense that we're looking to ultimately prevent information from being communicated when we know somebody's trying to listen on the line. And we're looking to make sure that the bad guys, if and when they get quantum computers down the line, are not able to take advantage of snooping on your line or hacking into your data center when you're unaware of it. And so, we're looking to provide the ultimate security. I think some of the firms you mentioned may be partners of ours long-term. We're open to how we go to market. Right now, we sell directly and we sell through partners. And so we very much want to be the standard, if you will, for all quantum technologies, from sensing to security to networking and computers in all warfighting domains. That's our goal.
And fast is crucial. I know that, but so is the quality.
Violence is erupting in Cuba as protesters torch Communist Party offices, throw rocks, and chant against the regime in a rare show of defiance. Havana is opening talks with the Trump administration while a deepening energy and economic crisis grips the island. Madeline Rivera has the latest from here in D.C. Hi, Madeline.
Hi, Rich. Cuba is facing a growing humanitarian crisis as it struggles with fuel shortages. Anger over rolling blackouts and a shortage of food are culminating in protests. There are reports of anti-government demonstrators attacking a Communist Party office in central Cuba. Videos on social media showed fire and people throwing rocks through the windows of a building. Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel addressed the protests, saying it is understandable that the prolonged blackouts cause distress in our town as a consequence of the U.S. energy blockade, cruelly intensified in recent months. But he goes on to say for vandalism and violence, there will be no impunity.
We're going to have tremendous workforce availability. We're also going to have robots helping us. We're going to have a lot of robots helping us because we need it. And because we're going to town, we're building a lot between the AI and the auto plants. So we're going to need robots. We're going to have robots, but that's going to help us.
Robots hold steady hands in the operating room, and drones are redefining the future of war. Innovations of first-generation humanoids, factory automation, and autonomous vehicles have surged from private sector investment. Every one of these advancements is powered by AI. The robots are here. Our future is no longer science fiction.
Maybe crypto is actually built for the machines and we didn't even know it. And AI can easily handle private keys and easily understands transaction hashes and like how all this stuff works. It is money that is built for computers, even before the computers to intelligently handle it were built. So I find that interesting. And, perhaps those of us who were involved in crypto pre-AI were kind of just like getting the ground ready for the AI systems to have a fully developed financial system handed to them, for better or worse.
This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology.
And as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stable coins to do that.
I think stable coins could reinforce dollar supremacy, because with stable coins could end up being one of the largest buyers of U.S. treasuries or T-bills. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden, if you are using a stable coin in Nigeria that's backed by the U.S. dollar, you don't actually have to have dollars. It's on your phone. You can transact.
We are going big on digital assets. So Trump administration has made digital assets a priority. I've seen estimates that just over the short term, stable coins could create $2 trillion of demand for U.S. treasuries and treasury bills. To put that in context, the number is probably about $300 billion right now.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stable coins, and new payment systems.
The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain, because you are the crypto president, and we are going to put out GDP on the blockchain so people can use the blockchain for data distribution, and then we're going to make that available to the entire government so all of you can do it. We're just ironing out all the details so we can do it.
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services. It'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. But with today's announcement, we take a major step to bring healthcare into the digital age. Instead of filling out the same tedious paperwork at every medical appointment, patients will simply be able to grant their doctors access to their records at the push of a button. Just a button and you're all set, and all the information the doctor needs will be immediately transmitted.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the the one that's on the side of freedom.
If we could tokenize all our ETFs, all $5.3 trillion of our ETFs, and provide that in a digital wallet, you could seamlessly, without fees, going from a digital currency or a stable coin or whatever that may be in your digital wallet and buy bond or stocks. And I believe that is going to be the future.
I believe we're going to be in the cutting edge of tokenizing bonds and stocks.
It's coming.
And we have the technology now. The fact that we are now moving forward in tokenization, every bond and stock, is crazy. Yeah. We should be moving towards that frontier. Obviously, there's winners and losers and all that, but we need to be prepared for the tokenization. And it would democratize more finance if we tokenized bonds and stocks.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tanya save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tanya save New York. From COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tanya goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.